All right, so today I am on the Segway Max G3, and getting straight to the point, this is one of the best electric scooters that you can buy right now. Everything from the design to the performance, the top speed of 28 miles per hour, the acceleration, the feature set, the design, the really good app that goes along with this that allows you to really customize this scooter. It is something that is just solid for the price, and the normal price is $13.99, but right now for the launch at the time of this video, it is on sale for $899, which is an insane price for the performance that you get with this scooter. So if you can get it on sale, great. Even if not the normal price, just a regular price, it's still a really good deal for everything you get compared to more expensive options. And all this is in a scooter that weighs a little bit over 54 pounds and can be collapsed down for making for easy transport. So you have a little latch that you undo on the stem, and then also you have this little hook that will be attaching to this spot on the footboard. And then now this thing makes a really good solid connection. It hasn't come undone when I have been putting the scooter in the back of my car and it's been bouncing around. And you also have an option to make the scooter turn itself off when you do initiate the folding process. So as soon as you lay that stem down and attach it, it'll go ahead and turn itself off. So I leave this on because I find that to be convenient. And it really just makes the scooter very easy to carry upstairs and stuff. So it's not the lightest scooter that Segway sells, but it's also definitely not one of the heaviest that they sell and that you can find from other competitors. And so yeah, something like this is really made for city riding and stuff. So if you're looking for something to help you commute to work and stuff, or just ride around the city and enjoy the weather like I'm doing right now here in St. Louis, the size and weight is something that's gonna be good, but it still gives you that performance. So with the 850 watt motor that you have inside of here, it does peak at 2,000 watts. So when you need to get a little bit of extra acceleration, when you need to get going from that stop sign or that red light, this scooter does have you covered. All right, so we got a nice little bump here. Woo, all right, so yeah, riding in the city, especially St. Louis, you're gonna be hitting a lot of bumps in the road, but the scooter has some of the best suspension that you'll find in this class of scooter, and even for scooters that cost more, because you have dual front and rear hydraulic suspension. And I think with the front suspension, you have like around 80 millimeters of travel, and then on the rear suspension, it is also adjustable. It does have Segway's stability system, which is made up of the proper stem angle, and then also the steering damper that's up front, and then even you do have a traction control system. And so this is going to give you better control over slippery terrain, whether it's rain and stuff like that. And here's a really good test and example that I did of this system. All right, so let's test out this traction control system that this does have. And this is Segway's own kind of self-developed system, and should allow me to still be relatively stable going over slippery terrain like these gravel rocks here on this road. Let me press on the throttle just a little bit here. And yeah, this is not like perfectly ideal. So I think this is going to be more so for like slippery roads where it rained or like little dirt and stuff like that. So this is a little bit extreme here, but let me get out of this and let me go into some of this thicker grass here to see how this motor can handle this. And it's not bad. Ideally, you're not going to be doing this in grass because this isn't really like a off-road type of scooter. Segway does make other scooters that are more geared towards that, but it can still get the job done. And so yeah, just being able to whip a turn like this, I feel very good. And then with this acceleration, I'm able to get up to speed again in the road. So yeah, just very fun and a very nice controlled ride that you do have on this Max G3. Now, the design of the scooter can be simply described as just clean. This thing is super clean. Nothing isn't there if it doesn't need to be there. Up front with the cables, I really like the red cables coming from the brake lines, but the cables are nicely done. They go integrated in the stem. And also midway down the stem, you do have this bag hook, so you can put a grocery bag or any other type of bag that you want to carry with you. And then on the 7.9-inch footboard, you do have the 9-bot branding on there, and then also this red line that adds a nice little touch to it. And this footboard is a decent amount of space. Now on the back of the footboard, there is an angle where you can place one of your feet to give you some more stability when you are at higher speeds. But I wish that it did have a little bit more of an angle to make it go up a little bit, because I do find myself stepping on the rear fender because I don't know the difference between the rear fender and that little angle on the back. So a little bit more kind of height to that would be nice. And the scooter does have an aluminum alloy frame, which is rated for IPX6 for water resistance, and the battery is rated IPX7. And the handlebars are curved a little bit, so as they go outwards, they actually angle towards you a little bit. So this is way better than just a straight handlebar, I would say. But yeah, I like the little curve that they do have. And then underneath the footboard, you do have around 5 inches of ground clearance, so you have a little bit of height there for jumping off of curbs and stuff. Oh, and the assembly for the scooter is really nice. So I didn't record the process because it's pretty simple, but the box itself is a nice looking box. I really really actually might keep the box. Typically I throw them away. But yeah, the only thing you have to do as far as assembly is just to put the handlebars on, and that's like 4 screws. And then also you have this little like rear fender flap that takes a couple of screws, and then you're basically set. And around the scooter, you will find a bunch of different tags and stuff that will be guiding you through what you need to do before your first ride. And that includes downloading the Segway app to get this thing activated. And you'll also need to use the app to be able to unlock the top speed of 28 miles per hour. Now, when I first took this scooter out of the box, I didn't know what this part right here was for, but this is actually where you can slide in a bike lock to be able to lock this up or chain it up to a gate or a fence or anything else where you want to try to keep the scooter safe if you are going to be leaving it out for a while. So pretty nice and thoughtful little addition there. Oh, and I really like the lighting package that you do have on the scooter. So you have really good visibility at night when you're riding around. So you do have a headlight up front that also is adjustable. I didn't know it was adjustable at first, but you can angle it up and down a little bit. But this headlight is very bright, nice wide angle of coverage in front of you. And then above the headlight, you have this really nice looking light bar on this. So this adds a little bit more of a futuristic type of look to it. So I just love the combination of the headlight and this light bar. And then on the back of the fender, you will find the tail light that does also function as a brake light. So when you squeeze on the brakes, it will brighten up a little bit more. And then you also do get front and rear turn signals. So these are going to be located on the tips of the handlebars. And so on each side, you have 2 lights on the front and also on the back. So people in front of you, people behind you can see that you're trying to turn. And also when you do turn on the turn signals, they do make an audible sound, and you can adjust the sound level of that. You can turn them off if you don't want the sound. But also they do show up on the display as well to let you know that you do have the turn signals on. So this helps you not forget to turn your turn signal off, just like I sometimes do when I take a turn. But wait, we're not done with the lights just yet. So you do have 2 underglow lights underneath each side of the footboard. So they cast a nice little light down onto the ground, and they will flash when you do turn on the turn signal. So this with the headlights and the tail lights and the light bar, and then also you do have some reflectors scattered around the scooter. You really do have really solid visibility on this scooter when you are riding at night. And that's especially good when you are riding in the road with other cars around you. And okay, so now let's get into the speed test here. So I have it set in sport mode, which should get us up to 28 miles per hour. And then also I do have the max starting speed set to 3 miles per hour. You can lower that, but I just put it at the max for this test. And this will just be the first normal acceleration test. There is a boost mode, which does give you an even faster acceleration, but I'm going to test that after this first test. But anyway, let's get this thing going in 3, 2, 1, boom. So again, this is a kick scooter, so you do have to give it a little bit of a kick, but we are off and moving. We're already at 20 miles per hour, that fast. And now we're at 23, 25, 27, and 28 miles per hour. And the GPS app on my phone is matching very nicely to the bike's display as far as the speed. So we are at a true 28 miles per hour. I weigh around 220 pounds right now. I know, I need to lose some weight, but yeah, this thing is moving. And so now I do want to come to a stop, and instead of just hitting the brake levers, I'm just going to actually release the throttle. And this does have an energy recovery system here, so you can set it to like weak or standard. I actually have it set on weak, but yeah, when you do release the throttle, it will go ahead and start like stopping itself. And then that will put a little bit of power or energy back into the battery. But yeah, you can see it does take, around maybe 20 seconds or so for me to get to a place to where I can just simply step off the scooter. All right, so now for this boost mode test here. So this will allow me to not have to do a kickstart. I can just use the throttle. So you do have to turn this on in the settings, but once you do, when you are riding around and you do want to take advantage of this, you just have to press down on one of the brakes and the throttle at the same time. And then in 3 seconds, it'll go ahead and prepare the scooter for it. Oh, you can also go into the Segway app and assign the boost function to the custom button. So now you just have to press on that button to enable this mode. And now I can go ahead and get this thing going, but do be aware, this thing has a lot of power, so you do want to be leaning forward a little bit when you are starting. But anyway, boost mode test in 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh yeah, we are moving, baby. We are moving. We're already at 20 miles per hour, 22, 25, 26, 27, and 28. This thing gets you going, man. So this is gonna be great when you are riding in the street and maybe you don't wanna like hold up traffic, even though in regular settings, you're not really holding up traffic that much, but yeah, this thing can get you going in a hurry. And also each of the riding modes do have different max speeds. So with eco mode, you can get up to 10 miles per hour, drive mode, you can get up to 16 miles per hour, and sport mode, you can get up to 28 miles per hour. And inside of the app, you can also adjust the top speed for each one of these modes just by using these sliders. So this is good maybe if you just want your kid to be able to ride at a maximum of 15 miles per hour hour, and no matter what mode they're in, so you can always do that. And now I'm getting ready to go over some cobblestone, and whoa, actually this is not as bad as what I thought it was going to be. So along with the stability system, you do have 11-inch tires on this scooter, and then also these tires are self-healing because they do have what they call is like a jelly layer. So these will be able to heal themselves with punctures up to like 4 millimeters and stuff. But yeah, with the suspension here, it's bouncy, right? Don't get me wrong, you can probably hear it in my voice a little bit there. But the main thing for me, I didn't feel like I was gonna slip or fall off of the scooter going over that type of terrain. Now you do have front and rear disc brakes on this scooter, which I'm gonna come to a stop here right now. And so these scooters aren't super sensitive to the point to where if you are needing to stop in a hurry, it's gonna like throw you over the top of the handlebar. So that's nice, but they're also not gonna be like not sensitive enough to not allow you to get to a stop in an emergency situation. Now right here in front of me, I do have like some loose dirt and gravel. So this traction control system should help me out here. Yes, it is. And you know what? Let's take a look at the command center here. So up here on the handlebars, you have a really nice, big, bright, colorful 2.4-inch TFT display here. Really nice and bright, good colors, really good layout. And here you'll see all of your riding information as far as the speed, your range that you have left on the battery, and also how far you've traveled here and which particular mode you're in. Also, it'll show you the time. And also when you do have this paired with your smartphone, it'll be able to show you when you are getting a phone call and then be able to tell you who's calling you. And to control the display here, you have some controls here on the left-hand side. So this top button will be the mode button, and it'll switch you between the different riding modes like so. And then you have your left and right buttons here for the turn signals, like so. And then also you have this button here at the bottom, which is the power button, and also the headlight button here. So you can press to turn that on, and then you can also press to turn it off. And then the scooter does also have auto sensing capability. So the headlight would be able to determine when it's a low light situation or when it's nighttime and automatically turn on the headlight. And then below these controls, you will find the physical bell. And you also have this custom button right here. And so inside of the app, you can customize this to do all types of different functions, from your emergency flashers to enabling the boost mode or enabling the hill mode. But you can also assign different sounds to it. Like if you want to put an electronic horn or just your voice recording to it and have it play through the speaker on the scooter, you can do that. And then on the right-hand side, you will find the throttle. So this is a 2-function throttle. So it functions as a thumb throttle like this, but you can also use it as a twist throttle if you want to get like that type of motorcycle type of feeling just by twisting the throttle like that. Handlebar grips are good, grippy, all good in my books. And as I switch to the ultra wide camera here, I do want to point out that I have space for my Peak Design mobile mount, so I can mount my smartphone directly on that. And then also I have a little space right here, and this is where I put some of my cameras and stuff when I am filming. But really good layout, doesn't feel too cramped here on the controls here for this G3. And so now let's talk about the battery range of the scooters. So this does have a built-in battery that comes in at 597 watt hours. And so in eco mode, the lowest mode, you can get up to 50 miles. In drive mode, you can get up to 40 miles. And running at the top speed of 28 miles per hour in sport mode, you can get up to 25 miles. And the actual range you're gonna get is gonna depend on how hard you're pushing the scooter, whether you're running at 28 miles per hour all the time and doing the boost mode as far as the acceleration, how many hills you're going up, how much you weigh, all these different things do play into your overall range. But you know, I came up like a few miles short of the advertised 25 miles while riding around in sport mode, but that's kind of something that I do expect when I am doing this, especially in my testing period. But one good thing is that this does have some very fast charging, so you can get this thing charged all the way up to 100% in just 3.5 hours. But another bonus is that the charging cable is very small because it doesn't have a charging brick attached to it. So this here is the charging cable for this scooter, and this is going to be a typical charging cable that you get with e-scooters and also electric bikes, where you have this big old brick. But they have all of that stuff kind of built into the scooter. So now this little cable, you can just carry it around with you or put it in your pocket or something, so you can have it with you just in case you need to charge. But if you want even faster charging, this Max G3 has a secondary charging port that's right above the front of the footboard. And so you'll need to buy the charging cable for that to be able to activate this. But if you do, you'll cut that charging time down from 3.5 hours down to 2.5 hours. But the secondary port does have another purpose, because Segway is going to be selling a secondary battery that you can attach right here in this same location. And so the secondary external battery will give you an extra 460 watt hours. And so this will extend the 50-mile range in eco mode all the way up to 84 miles. And this will extend the 25 miles in sport mode and take that up to 57.5 miles. Oh, and the scooter also does have Apple Find My. So if someone steals your scooter, you'll be able to track them down and drop kick them off of the scooter if you need to. But yeah, it's just really nice having that, so you can always know what the scooter is. All right, so now for a quick hill test here. This first test will just be normal acceleration. So 3, 2, 1, and here we go. All right. So we are getting up this thing, 12 miles per hour already. And just compared to other scooters that I've tested in this price range, this thing is performing very well on this hill. Again, the motor maxes out at 2,000 watts here. So when it needs to, it will give you that extra power. All right, so this next test will be the boost mode. So holding down on the brake and the throttle in 3 seconds, we will be ready to go. All right, so let's get this thing going. Pretty good acceleration. Again, you got to make sure that you do lean back a little bit because my front wheel did come up, but that's because I wasn't properly ready. But we're already at 20 miles per hour, zooming up this hill. Definitely faster than the previous test, but of course, that's what boost mode is supposed to be about. Okay, so now I'm going down this same hill, and one feature that this scooter does have that I really do like is that, say I do want to come over here and just park. If I actually press down on the brake here just for a few seconds, it will enter in this hill mode, which basically will allow the rear wheel to lock up. So now it's not going to go anywhere. So you can see right here, I'm just holding it. I'm not stopping it at all. I'm just kind of lightly holding it up and the wheel is not moving. Now this also does have a walking mode. So just press the mode button here on the handlebars until you get to walk. And then now just press down on the throttle. And then this will turn on the motor just a little bit so you can walk alongside of it. So I'm not doing anything here. The motor is giving me just enough power to get up this hill without having to carry it up or actually try to get on and try to ride it. Oh, and as far as locking up the entire scooter for security reasons, if you're leaving it out somewhere, there's this airlock feature that Segway has. So once you have your smartphone paired to the scooter, you'll be able to just simply walk up to your scooter, press on the power button, and be able to start riding because it identifies your phone. But if you don't have this feature on, or you just don't have your phone with you, you can still set a 4-digit passcode. So when you walk up, turn on the power button, you have to enter in that passcode. And this airlock feature will lock up the rear wheel so no one can just walk up and push it easily. Now the Segway app that you use with this scooter is so good. It gives you all the customization as I mentioned earlier in this video, but you can also activate a dashboard when you're riding. So it'll show you your speed, and then also it'll show you your riding duration, the vehicle temperature. And this is also where you can customize most of the features that I talked about in this video. And you can also just choose how long it takes for the scooter to automatically power off. You can also adjust these sound effects and how loud the sound effects are going to be. You can also set up scheduled charging. And so I recommend to never charge a scooter or electric e-bike or something when you are sleeping, because you never know, something can happen. But you can set up a schedule to where it only charges between these certain hours when you are awake if you want. And then you have a bunch of other different settings and stuff. But yeah, a lot of stuff you can do inside of the app, especially with just keeping it updated with the latest software. All right, so look, the Segway Max G3 is just a rock solid scooter. And for the normal price of $13.99, that's not cheap, right? It still does cost a little bit, but I can tell you just from experience, compared to other scooters that cost just a few $100s more to even maybe like $700 or $800 more, the type of package that you get from the specs to the riding quality, the build quality, and the speed, and just the acceleration, all that stuff, this is a very aggressive price from Segway. And easily just a couple of years ago, this scooter probably would cost like $2,500. And so all of this makes this a very easy recommendation for a nice little scooter to take to work or just to cruise around town. So I'm gonna drop a link down below in the description of this video for this Segway Max G3. But I really wanna know your thoughts about this. Let me know what you think about this scooter down in the comments below. But like always, I do wanna thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.